guys, Sarah here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about products that I used to love that I have rediscovered and I'm loving again. So it's kind of like rediscovering old favorites. So if you're interested in that, keep watching. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe before you leave so you don't miss any of my future videos. All right, let's get into it. All of the products in front of me are products that I have loved. It may have been a year ago, it may have been 6 months ago, but I'm constantly trying new products. So I have my products in rotation all the time, and I feel like I just kind of forget about some if I get something else that I really love and kind of replace it. So I've been kind of shopping my stash recently because there's so many products that need more love in my collection. So that being said, there's been some products that I have been using a ton again after not using them for a while. First up is this primer from Origins. I mentioned this in a video recently. I can't remember which video it was, but this is the Origins Original Skin Pore Perfecting Cooling Primer. It has the longest name on earth. It is an aerosol primer. I did a full video on it, which I will link up here in the cards in case you're interested in it. But this primer is outstanding. And I think I was just using a few different primers, so this got lost in my collection, and then I used it again, remembered how much I love it and cannot live without it, and I've been using it every day again since that point. So this is so good. It will fill in your pores. I usually put it in my pore problem areas, which is right here on my cheeks, a little bit on my chin. I do a little bit on my nose, but that's about it. And it is so cooling and just pore filling. It is amazing, and it makes your skin look so good under makeup. The next one is another primer. This is from Dermalogica. This is the Hydrablur primer. This is another pore filling primer. As you can see, I am running pretty low on it. It is a really good primer. This again is one that you will fill your pores in with, and I just use the tiniest amount, and then I kind of rub it into the places that I want and then kind of press it into my skin just so that it will really fill the pores in. It doesn't have a super silicone-y feel, but it does have a little bit of that. So if you don't like that feeling, I don't think that I would suggest this one for you. But I do also just want to mention that I have normal, sometimes oily skin. So as far as primers and stuff, that's kind of where my skin is. And then I have one more primer for you. This is the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. I always mess that name up. This one will just leave the most beautiful finish on your skin. It's just like a little bit of a glow. It looks really, like, it's pretty sheer, but it will just give you that like nice lit from within, like glowy finish before you put your makeup on. I think it's absolutely beautiful, and makeup wears really well under this. I use a really small amount again, and I will put this all over my entire face because this one is not filling in pores or doing anything like that. It's more of a like filter for your whole face. Next is the NARS. This is the Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. I did a full video on this as well, which I will link up here. But this I mentioned in my September favorites, which I can link that video up here as well. But this foundation is amazing, and I forgot how much I loved it because I've been trying out so many new foundations recently, and there are so many great ones out. But I tried this one again, and I just love this so much. It makes my skin look beautiful and flawless. It has great coverage. You can build it up without it looking cakey. It doesn't emphasize pores or like texture or anything like that. It just looks absolutely beautiful. I feel like it has a very skin-like finish, so you don't look really matte, you don't look really dewy. It's like a very natural skin-like finish. So as far as like an everyday foundation for me personally, I really love this one. This powder I've had for years. I have been through quite a few of these. This is the Benefit Hello Flawless powder. I have mine in the shade Honey. And this is a powder foundation, but I do like it to set my whole face after I put foundation on. It can add a little bit of coverage. It can change the color of it if you apply too dark or too light of a foundation. And it will just help mattify and really set your makeup. I just think this is beautiful. It sits really nicely on the skin. It's not like gritty or anything. It's very finely milled, so it will sit very nicely on top of your makeup. It's not going to look like it's adding any cakiness to your skin. So I love this powder. It's also a powder foundation, so I guess I can say foundation. This is also a good one to take on the go so that you can do touch-ups. It does have underneath here, it has a sponge and a brush, neither of which I've ever opened just because I don't usually use the products that come with powders and stuff, but you could totally use it. It has a little mirror in here. So this is a really good on the go, like throw it in your purse, touch up your makeup kind of thing. A while back, I did a video on this Lorac set that I think had like a bronzer, blush, and highlight. and the blush and highlight are so good, and I loved them. Like, I gave rave reviews about them, which I'll try and find that video and link it here for you guys as well. But these are so good, and I just, again, just kind of forgot about them. So the blush is in the shade Technicolor, and this is a really great everyday shade for me. I like that it looks pigmented, but it's also not like crazy pigmented, and you can blend it out, so it is not something that you're gonna look like a clown. You guys probably already know that I hate super pigmented blushes that you can't blend out. I actually have this on with another blush, which I will show you guys in a little bit. And then the highlight is in the shade Daylight, and this too is just a really gorgeous highlight that, again, you can kind of build up or blend out as much as you want. You don't have to have it be super pigmented for either product, but both of these are so good. And I think after that video, I used them for a while until something else came along, and now I am back on the train of using these so much. Another blush that I have been loving is the Burt's Bees Toasted Cinnamon Blush. I had this blush for a while, and I think I just went through quite a few blushes all at once that I was testing out. And so I kind of just forgot about them. But this I have on today, and it's mixed with the Lorac Technicolor. So these two are on my cheeks right now. And this, again, is a really nice everyday peachy shade, and you can blend it out. And it's just leaves your skin with the nice natural flush look that I really love. I have one more blush for you guys. It's like blush overload, but for the past few weeks, I have been in a major blush rut. And so I went through Shop My Stash again and picked out some blushes that I knew I loved before, put them on again, and fell back in love with them. So I have quite a few different options that I have been kind of rotating through. So this is a Becca palette that was limited edition, but the shade in here that I love so much is Songbird, which is this middle shade. And this is just the most gorgeous, again, another everyday blush. The color is so pretty. This, again, is very pigmented, but you can blend it out, and it will just blend into the most gorgeous, flush, natural color. They do sell that color individually, so you can get Songbird on its own. You don't have to buy this palette because, like I said, this palette was limited edition. Okay, let's talk about this bronzer. This is from Becca. I was obsessed with this bronzer for so long. And I still love it. It's in the shade Capri Coast. This is my second one. I completely hit pan on my first one. Did not think I could ever live without it in my collection. And then recently I've been using my Hourglass bronzer, which I love that bronzer as well. That's probably my all-time favorite bronzer. But I wanted to go back, and I mean, I lived without my Hourglass bronzer for years, so I wanted to see what other bronzers I had in my collection that I was loving, and this one is so good. I have been using it so much recently. And this is just a really natural bronzer. It has the slightest sheen, but it's not gonna make your skin look shimmery by any means. It's just gonna look nice and healthy. It's a pretty neutral color, so you can bronze up your skin, but you can also do a little bit of contouring if you want to with it. It is just absolutely perfect for my skin color, and this comes in tons of different shades, but the formula is just amazing. So if you aren't a color that's similar to my skin tone, I still think you'd be able to find a color that would work for you in this collection. Let's talk about what's on my lips. First, I have the Colourpop Lippie Stick in the shade Lumiere, and this is the Kathleen Lights collab that Colourpop did with her. I love this formula. It is so unbelievably comfortable. It's just this lip crayon, and then I do want to show you what I have over it. This is the BareMinerals gloss it's the Gen Nude gloss in the shade Sugar. So this is the combination. So I have Lumiere on first, and then I topped it with the Sugar gloss. And this combination I love so much. I think it's so pretty, and I just think that this Lumiere is such a pretty color for fall. I love that it doesn't dry down to a flat matte, so that you can still move your lips around, you still have some pigmentation, all of that you still have with this, the Lippie Stix formula. The other lip product I wanted to mention is from Revlon. This is the Super Lustrous lip gloss, and this is in the shade Super Natural. And I use this. This was my absolute favorite gloss for years and years and years. I still think it's amazing. It's a great formula. It's not sticky at all. It's not very pigmented. So this is a really good gloss that could go over everything. It's this one. And I just think it's so pretty, and it's from the drugstore. It's so affordable, so I highly, highly recommend this. I did a full video on this palette. It's the Tarte Hamptons Weekender palette a while back, which I will link here for you guys, but this has a little mirror, and then it has a contour, blush, and highlight, and this contour can be used as a bronzer as well. I'm just gonna swatch everything for you because it is so pretty, and this is the first face palette that I've had that all 3 shades really, really work for me. Usually you can't use all of the shades in a face palette, but this one I love. And I will say that the blush is really pigmented, but you can blend it out, and if you use a light hand, it's totally usable. But all 3 of these shades are just absolutely gorgeous, and I think that they would work for people who had a darker skin tone than I do as well. Because like I said, the blush is really pigmented on me, so I think this could be blended out and it would be beautiful, or you could do a little bit more, use a little bit more product, and then it would work for deeper skin tones. And then the highlight is a pretty universal. It's not super, super icy, but it's not a really golden color either. So this, if you have a skin tone that's pretty similar to mine, I think you would be able to use all 3 of these shades. And this is just such an easy thing to travel with because I have all 3 products in one little compact. Another highlight that I've been loving is from Algenist. This is the Reveal Concentrated Luminizing Drops, and this is in the shade Pearl, which I feel like normally wouldn't be a shade that I would like that much. But these I will either put on right before I put foundation on. I'll just drop it on and then kind of dab it out with my finger, or I'll put my foundation on and then put a little bit on and use my beauty sponge and kind of blend it out that way. But I just think that these give your skin just a nice luminosity. You can build up or do a very natural, subtle glow. I think that they're beautiful. They come in tons of different shades, and they're just so flattering on your skin. It's not going to emphasize texture. It's not going to look like that beaming highlight. It won't look fake. It's going to be a very natural, lit from within glow that I think looks beautiful under the foundation. Last but not least, from Maybelline, this is the Eye Studio Gel Eyeliner. This is in the shade Blackest Black, and this is my favorite gel liner. I will just use a little angled liner brush and dip in and then draw my wing. I think that this is a very easy way if you are a beginner to learn how to do your wing. I think it's easier than trying to do it with a liquid liner that's in a pen. Personally, for me, I feel like I have more control over a brush like this, and I can kind of dip in when I need to, or like spread the product out more if I need to. I just really like this, and I forgot how much I loved this one, but it is amazing. It's black, it dries down matte, it stays put, but you can remove it easily if you want to. I just can't say enough good things about this, and it's from the drugstore. Alrighty guys, those are all of the products that I've recently rediscovered in my collection that I've just been loving so much. Let me know down below in the comments if there's something that you have recently rediscovered. Are you shopping your stash? Have you purchased something that you really love? Let me know all the things down below in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe before you leave so you don't miss any of my future videos. Thanks so much for watching. Bye guys.